Now this is the story of Nebuchadnezzar's dream tree. It's coming from Daniel chapter 4. Now Nebuchadnezzar was the king of the kings of the earth. He had a nightmare that disturbed him. He dreamt that there was a tree that grew up to touch the sky. It was visible from the ends of the earth. It had beautiful leaves and abundant fruit. The birds of the air, they nested in it, and the beasts of the field, they found shelter under it. Then a holy one came down from heaven and announced that the tree would be chopped down. Its leaves were to be stripped, its branches were to be cut off, and its fruit was to be scattered, and the beasts of the field were to be chased out from under it, and the birds were to be chased from nesting in it. And yet the stump of the tree would remain in the ground, bound with a strap of iron and bronze, and he would be given the mind of a beast to dwell amongst the beasts for a period of 7 times. And all this was so that everyone would know that the Most High God rules over the kingdoms of men and gives them to whoever he wants. Now, the king called for his wise men to interpret the dream, but none of them could. So then Daniel was brought to the king. His name was Beltashazzar, after the name of Nebuchadnezzar's god. And Nebuchadnezzar said to Daniel, Beltashazzar, I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in you. Now hear the dream and interpret it for me. And the king told Daniel the dream, but Daniel was alarmed. And he said to the king, O king, if only the dream and its interpretation belong to your enemies. But the king assured Daniel, do not be alarmed, but give me the interpretation. So Daniel told the king that he, or the king, Nebuchadnezzar, was that tree that had grown up and touched the sky, that was visible to the ends of the earth. His kingdom would be removed. He would be driven away from people. He would be given the mind of a beast to dwell among the beasts for a period of 7 times, until Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged that the Most High God rules over the kingdoms of men. But that the stump remained in the ground meant that Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom would be restored when he acknowledged that heaven rules. Now Daniel urged the king to turn from his sins and to do what is right by showing mercy to the oppressed, that perhaps the king's prosperity and kingdom would continue. Now, about 1 year later, Nebuchadnezzar was walking around on the roof of his palace, admiring the great Babylon which he had built by his own power, and a voice from heaven interrupted Nebuchadnezzar, announcing that he would be driven away from people and given the mind of a beast to dwell among the beasts like a beast for a period of 7 times, until Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged that heaven rules. So Nebuchadnezzar was driven away from people. He lost his mind. He lost his kingdom. He dwelt among the beasts in the bush like a beast for a period of 7 times. And then Nebuchadnezzar, at the end of that complete period of time, looked to heaven, and his mind was restored. And he praised God, saying that the Most High God rules over the host of heaven and the inhabitants of the earth. And he went on to continue to praise God, saying that everything that the Most High God does is right and just, and that he is able to humble the proud. And this is the story coming from Daniel chapter 4.